Hey everyone, it's LS, and this is a Worlds recap vlog because I just want to talk about basically my experience at Worlds. And now that I'm back in Korea, I just got back about 3 days ago. I figured I would make this video, so here it is. So I was invited to Worlds in August. I went out in September. I was really looking forward to going, but about a week or two before, I got really bad anxiety because I thought that I was just gonna, fail. And I thought I wasn't going to perform well, and I was really worried because I had not casted since LCK, and there had been a pretty big time gap that had occurred, and so I was actually really worried going to Worlds. But it was always something that I wanted to do. I wanted to do it in the very first season that I joined League, which was season 4, because it was in Korea that year, and I was like right down the street from it, but I didn't get the opportunity to do anything. And that's understandably so. After I landed in NA, we had a few days off, and then we started the boot camp for like casters and talent and whatever. And that was really, really cool, actually. That was a unique experience that I had never gotten to have before, and I thought that was actually really awesome because it was basically just everyone talking and communicating with each other and helping each other and figuring out what everyone was going to do and how they were going to do it, and it was actually really, really, really nice. And I think that was actually really awesome by Riot to set that up, and I think that it's basically a great idea that any industry should actually do for its talent crew or talent lineup, whatever. After that, right as the boot camp was about to end, I actually started getting sick, and I just thought it was like normal because every time I take a plane that isn't like a 2-hour plane or something, I always get sick, and I don't know why, and it's always been like that for 6 years, 7 years or something. And it sucked because I had, it felt like a double ear infection, and my throat hurt really bad, and I had a fever on and off, and chills and night sweats, and it really sucked. But I went to a doctor, and they said that it wasn't strep throat, even though I thought it was strep throat. So for about 2 weeks, including my first week and a little bit into my second week casting, I was still sick with that. We found out during week 2 that it was in fact strep throat. So that was pretty brutal. So I didn't really have too great of a time. I would have felt really bad taking days off or something because of that, because it's the World's experience. So I tried to just tough it out. I thought that it went okay, relative to how sick I was feeling. But through all of that, the Riot production staff were absolutely fantastic. I've seen production staffs at many industry or orgs, whatever. I've never seen anything like Riot's. So that was actually really, really awesome because they were really helpful, and they just made it a lot easier to be sick, I guess, while trying to work. So that was really actually cool by them. Did the casts and stuff, and as some people know, there was the Reddit stuff that popped up, and honestly, even though I did reply, I do want to reiterate that my reply is like there's still a reflection there, in the sense that there is stuff that I do have to change, like moving forward, and even though there is the external, I guess, stuff that I do, there's still the internal desire of like what I want to do, and I think that it has been an ever slowly changing process to trying to get there, because my ideal persona, I guess, would have been much like my coach in StarCraft 1. His ID was Yosh, and I think that his demeanor and how he went about stuff, I think, is something to be admired. At least, in his last years, because if you look him up, the history isn't so detailed. But, anyways, so moving forward, I, still keep that in mind, and I was just trying to basically put on a good job and a good show at Worlds. And I really wanted to just try to do what I feel like I'm best at, because I realized that there's a lot of weaknesses that I still have as like a caster. I just tried to basically play to my strengths, which is, anything that's going on inside of the game, macro, micro wise. I just wanted to try to talk about that and why it was important, and really just try to educate anyone that was listening on, what is going on. Going off, all of that, I think that, when I move forward and I try to approach things, I definitely do still need to work on being more concise and finding ways to condense the things that I do want to say. Um, and I think that, as time does continue to go on, I will continue to improve in that. Because I do care a lot about refinement, and, refining the refined and doing that over and over and over. And I guess I'm a little bit obsessive with that. So I think that as time does progress, I have KeSPA Cup coming up in like a week, and then, Season 7's just right around the corner in a few months. I'm really looking forward to that. I think that my time in LA was really, really fun. I think that the alt stream was a really cool experience, and I actually really wish that there was more of that, like that was mainstream, like in NA, EU, China, Korea, etc. That type of stream is really, really cool for the people that do really want to learn about the game. And it's just actually something super great that you could even do VOD type reviews on. Like you could do alt stream type VOD reviews, and that's not something that I ever really thought about. But I guess it's a little bit hard if the camera doesn't just only follow the player. But nonetheless, I think that that's actually a pretty cool idea that a lot of content creators could use to try to produce educational videos for their audience or whatever. But I definitely hope that that's something that does become mainstream. When I went to San Francisco, I had a little bit of interesting experiences. We were at a really, really, really nice hotel. And, the surrounding area had a lot of restaurants that were like 24 hours. But I did get to experience a little bit of America, you know what I mean? And I had never wanted to be in Korea so badly. So I'll give you guys one story. I went to a Jack in the Box at about 2:30 or 3 a.m. And there was some guy that locked himself in a bathroom with someone else, and he had a knife. And here comes good old American cop, and he draws his gun. He doesn't shoot it. And it's order 308, and I'm order 309, and I'm just standing there like, okay, let me just, I just want my order, and I want to get out. I was actually so scared for a little bit. Nothing ended up, there were no shots fired or anything, and whatever. But that was my taste of America. So I got back to the hotel, and everything was fine. Got to do a lot of stuff, actually, in San Fran. As you guys know, I did some VOD reviews with Zyrene. I got to stream with Zyrene. That was actually pretty cool. And I think everything, for the most part, was actually pretty good. I really actually enjoyed casting with Deficio and Pastry Time. Pastry Time was actually, like, super cool and, like, fantastic, both on stage and off. It was actually really cool to meet him. And he was, the main play-by-play guy that I casted with, because we casted the Rocks versus ANX series. And that was just super fun. That was my first time ever tri-casting, and the tri-cast was super cool, because I think it adds a dynamic that you don't really get to do with just, two people, like play-by-play, color caster. That was really interesting. And then I went back to LA again for the alt stream. And that was fun too, because again, the alt stream also is like a tri-cast, so it's nice because I think it lets you touch on things, and it also lets you condense things unintentionally, just because your guys are handing off conversations, and then it's pretty cool. So anyways, for semifinals, Riot, even though I was not a part of semifinals, Riot actually helped me out big time. Because my home state is Rhode Island, which was really close by. And I got to see some friends again that I had not seen in a very long time. And I actually got to stop in to my home state just to basically see everyone again that I hadn't seen in a very, very, very long time. So that actually meant a lot to me. And Riot was really, really cool with just accommodating to me at Madison Square. I did a lot of photos and meeting people at Madison Square that I was not expecting. I was actually really overwhelmed, and I was pretty emotional after the fact because I just wasn't expecting anything like that. It made me really happy to go, and walking into the Garden, I remember watching WWE or WWF as a kid, and seeing The Rock and Stone Cold and stuff, and that, when I think of Madison Square, I think of them. And I remember just being a little kid watching them on TV. So to walk up those steps, I have a video on my phone of when the first series was going to go live, and walking up those steps and just recording it and knowing that I was there, a part of something way bigger than me, but it was a part of a community I was a part of, and an event that I had been able to and been fortunate enough to be a part of. That meant something a lot. That it, I don't even know. I can't really put into words what that meant. Maybe I'll upload the clip going up the steps or something another time, because that that was something. And it felt fantastic just to be there and experience all of that. And so thanks to Riot again for that. The Rocks versus SKT series, I still feel like that was the finals, because I don't think Samsung versus SKT, it did go to game 5, but I don't think it was nearly as great as Rocks versus SKT, so there's that. So moving outside of that, I did not go to the finals in LA for the Staples Center, because I was going back to Korea, and I just wanted to spend a little bit more time with people that I hadn't seen in a very long time. And so I took my fiance around to all the childhood spots and stuff, and it was just a giant nostalgia trip. And I'm really grateful that I was able to extend my stay like that, and that Riot was accommodating to that. I couldn't really have ever asked for more. And I got to experience Halloween again for the first time in years. If you're not an American, I don't know actually if they have it in Europe or any other parts of the world, but kids dress up and they go around to houses and trick or treat for candy. So that was really cool. But now I'm back. I have KeSPA Cup coming up in a week, and then again Season 7 right around the corner in a few months, and I'm just looking forward to all of it. I'm looking forward to casting the KeSPA Cup. I'm looking forward to casting some of the teams again that I haven't gotten to cast in a very long time. There's still a lot about LS that I want to change and I don't like, and I hope that through the refinement and stuff of becoming or being a cast or whatever, I hope that I'm able to change certain parts of that a lot sooner than I would otherwise be able to. I'm gonna stream a lot again, obviously, now that I'm back in Korea. Pretty bad right now, but I'm gonna start streaming again right now, because I do really miss streaming. I do want to make content more on my YouTube, so I'm planning to do that. I gotta get all new setups, because as you can see here, I don't really have a setup. I want to get green screen. I want to get better monitor setup. I just want to do a lot, because I really love League of Legends, and I think that Season 7 is actually going to be a really great season. In closing, I want to thank everyone. I would thank them individually, but I'm so afraid that I would forget a name. But basically all the Riot casters were super great, and it was really fun meeting everyone. And then the Riot production crew were just fantastic at every step of the way. So I can't complain about anything, and I feel like some of them even went above and beyond anything that was necessary. And so again, just because I'm afraid I'll forget some names, I don't want to I would do it one by one, but I'm afraid to. I always say this in the past, but honestly, I really do care about the community. So Reddit, even if we clash sometimes or something or whatever, everything does help. Even if the comments, people think that it doesn't matter, or any sort of support, even hate, criticism, it does help. Even if it doesn't maybe feel that way to the person on the other end of it at the time, it does in the end. So thanks. So anyways, I'm just going to continue getting better at casting, and finding ways to condense and be more concise with things that I want to say, and the content that I come out with and stuff. I want to make sure that it's just basically as good and effective as possible, basically, for anyone that wants to learn about the game, because that's always been my approach, is I just want to help people actually learn about the game. So I guess that's pretty much it, and I think that's really all. So thanks everyone that has been supportive, and thanks, again to Riot for the opportunity and for everything that they did for me. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.